are only in the second week of August of 2023, and it's already proving to be a pretty gay month so far, with Heartstopper releasing last week, and now this week on Friday, the 11th, you have the live action version of Red, White, and Royal Blue. Don't worry, I will be reviewing Heartstopper next, but let's talk about Red, White, and Royal Blue. Welcome to my safe haven, everybody. Thank you guys so much for joining me for another video here on the Black Gay Comic Geek channel. But if this is your first time checking out one of my videos and joining me here on the channel, first and foremost, let me say thank you for clicking on one of my videos. But let me introduce myself. My name is Michael. I call myself the Black Gay Comic Geek because I'm black, I'm gay, and I like comics. And I always say the things that I love to talk about on my channel has blood, sex, gore, and magic, or any variation of the four. So I like to talk superheroes, video games, comic books, action movies, horror movies, sci-fi, fantasy. And of course, I like to talk about black representation and queer representation. So if that's something that you're interested in, if you think representation matters, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button, become one of my safe haveneers. Let me hit another milestone here on the channel where I can hit 8,000 subscribers, 9,000 subscribers, 10,000 subscribers. And then hopefully you watch this video to the end, because watch time is key here on YouTube. So hopefully I am interesting enough for you to watch to the end. Watch, like, share, comment, interact on this video for the all gay rhythm. Speaking of all gay rhythm and gay things, well, I actually just finished reading this book called Red, White, and Royal Blue by author Casey McQuinton, because I saw the trailer that Amazon was releasing a live action version of this book. And so I was like, let me check out and read the book before the movie. And then I also was recently given a screener for the release of the movie, because the movie actually comes out this Friday on August 11th. And so I got to see it a couple days ago. And so now the review embargo is up, so I can talk about it. So let's talk about Red, White, and Royal Blue, and then compare a little bit. And I'm not going to give spoilers because obviously the movie isn't out yet. So I'm not going to give full spoilers, but I will talk about some things that are different from the book to the show without, again, giving full spoilers. But let's talk about Red, White, and Royal Blue. The synopsis for Red, White, and Royal Blue goes: Alex Claremont Diaz, the first son of the United States, and young Prince Henry fall in love. However, considering their high-profile public lives, they must keep their relationship a secret at all costs. And so this movie was directed by Matthew Lopez, Hispanic director, and he also wrote, there was a Broadway play that I really wanted to see, a queer themed Broadway play called The Inheritance. It won a whole bunch of Tonys, but I wasn't able to see it. I didn't have the money at the time, so it sucked. But I heard good things about it, and like I said, it won a whole bunch of Tonys, so obviously that must mean it was good. And starring in the role of the main lead, Alexander Claremont Diaz, Taylor Zakar Perez, and then starring his love interest is Nicholas Galitzine. I'm pretty sure I'm saying that name wrong. And also starring as his best friend, which you guys would know her from Love, Victor, is Rachel Hilson. She plays Nora Halloran, who's the daughter of the vice president. And playing Taylor's mother, the president of the United States, is Uma Thurman. And so you know how it usually is. Sometimes when it comes to live action adaptations of the book, it's not going to be anywhere, usually more times than not, it's not anywhere near as good as the book, or sometimes it's just downright awful. Well, is this live action version one of those where it's downright awful, or is it pretty much a serviceable companion to the book? Now, getting into it, I'm not going to give a full review of the book, but I will say that I read almost the majority of this book. I read like more than half of this book in like one sitting. And then I finished the rest of it, throughout the week as after I finished reading the book, after I first started reading the book. And I gotta say, I really did enjoy the book. I actually kind of, now that I've seen the movie, watched the movie, I kind of want to go back and read the book again. Like, I enjoyed the characters, especially, you know, Alex, his best friend Nora, and his relationship with Henry. I enjoyed the world of, you know, the fact that these two really political sons of their countries, you know, with Alex being the son of the president, and then Henry being the second in line to the throne. Like, I enjoyed reading about their lives and the fact and the intrigue and the fact that, you know, because they're so high profile, they pretty much have to keep their relationship a secret, especially considering that Alex, the son of the president, his mother is currently going through a presidential re-election campaign. And so, and not to hinder any progress in her potentially getting reelected, that's another reason that he has to keep his relationship a secret. And then, of course, with Henry being a royal and the whole history with like the British monarchy and all of that stuff, that's another reason why they have to keep their relationship a secret as well. And so, again, it's not going to be a review of the book, but in terms of the movie in and of itself, I enjoyed the movie. I thought it was cute, and I think the actors of Taylor Zakar Perez and Nicholas Galantazine, I know I'm butchering that name, but I think they really embodied what I pictured reading Henry, Prince Henry, and Alexander Claremont Diaz. Especially Taylor playing the role of Alex. Like, Alex is very witty, he's very charming, and he's also supposed to be very good looking. And Taylor, he's a good looking individual. And like his cat and the way they wrote him, he's also very witty in terms of like the dialogue options that they give with Alex. The only thing that I will say with regards to this movie that they didn't necessarily translate in the books, and something that left me disappointed. Like, there's two things that I'm mostly disappointed with this movie. But overall, I did enjoy the movie. Like, these these books, there's only one book. Hopefully there's a sequel. But this book is very rated R. Now, that's not to say it's rated X. There's no moments of like them graphically talking about sex scenes, but for the most part, and I'm not even just talking about in sex scenes, but for the most part, this book is very rated R. Like, in the way the characters talk to each other, like they're dropping F-bombs, they're talking like actual people. And then, of course, the sex scenes are kind of very rated R. Like, this was a line that stands out strongly in my head from the book. And like, there's a moment where the first time Alex and Prince Henry hook up, and Henry's kind of wondering if he should kiss Alex goodnight before he sneaks off to go back to his room. And Alex says to him, like, Henry, you just had my dick in your mouth. Of course you can kiss me goodnight. And so, again, that's just to go to show, like, it's very rated R in the books, but I don't know the rating. I don't remember what the rating was in the, hold on, let me actually look it up. So this is interesting. The movie itself is actually listed as rated R, but it didn't feel like it. Like, the movie felt very PG-13. It didn't feel like a rated R romantic comedy like that. Even in the way the characters talk, there wasn't really that many F-bombs or anything along those lines. And it's not to say the characters need to be cursing like Samuel L. Jackson in Pulp Fiction, but in just the way, like, it felt very cute, like a watered down version of the book. And even in like the sex scenes or the way the graphic nature that the characters would talk to each other, like, it didn't feel like that. There was even no moment of like, Henry, you just had my dick in your mouth. Of course you can kiss me goodnight. Like, there was no even moments like that. And there was some of that in this movie, but it almost kind of felt like they didn't want to push it too much. Like, there's a line that I remember from the book that they also had in the show, or the movie rather, and it was in the trailer where, because in the beginning of this movie and in the book, the general premise is Alex and Henry don't like each other at first. And of course, it's revealed that they don't like each other, because the truth of the matter is they actually do like each other. So it's a almost enemies to lovers kind of story. And so if you saw the trailer of the movie, where you saw part of so it's not a spoiler because it's in the trailer, but there was a royal wedding happening in London. So Alex's mother, as the president, went there to pay her respects and everything like that. And Alex and Henry confronted each other, and while they were arguing, they accidentally knocked over the royal wedding cake and it both fell on them. And so the whole premise of the movie is now they have to pretend to be best friends to the entire media so that it's not causing any type of international incident, because once again, her mother or his mother is going through a presidential re-election campaign. And so not to hurt her prospects of being reelected, he has to go basically fix it. So he has to go and do some political damage control, so not to hurt his mother's reelection campaign, and then also hurt his relationship and hurt their political relationship with England. So they have to pretend to be friends. And one of the lines that I remember, and it was in the trailer, is like, I don't care if you actually hate him, but once those cameras are on, you better pretend that the sunshine comes out of his dick and you have a vitamin D deficiency. And so there's some of that rated R-ness that they had in the movie, but again, it was very, very toned down. And also another key difference between the book and the movie is Alex is best friends with, there's a character named Nora, who I again mentioned is played by Rachel Hilston. And Nora, and then also he has a sister named June. They're pretty prominent throughout the books. And there's no June in the movie. So he doesn't even have a sister in the movie. So apparently in the movie, he's an only child. But then Nora, who again plays a very key factor and key role in the book, she's barely in the movie at all. And so that's something, and their relationship and dynamic, that's something that kind of disappointed me, especially considering the fact that in the movie and in the book, Alex is said to be bisexual. And before he got into a relationship with Prince Henry, he was in a off and on again relationship with Nora. They didn't even reference that in the movie. And honestly, reading the book before watching the movie, this kind of reinforces my original philosophy that I kind of got away from, where I don't like reading the books before watching the movie, because then I'm comparing it to the book instead of just, not to say I didn't enjoy the movie, but then I'm like noticing like June's not in it and all this other stuff, as opposed to watching the movie first and then going back to reading the book, and then of course getting more information from these characters, because a movie is never going to be as good as the books, because the book, like, you see how thick this book is? If this movie was as long as the book, it'd probably be a 5-hour Jackson's The American Dream like movie. And that's also something that like I wished going into the movie, like even though the movie is like 1 hour and 58 minutes, I kind of wish it was a good maybe 20 minutes longer, because in many ways certain aspects of it did feel rushed. But with that said, again, I still enjoyed the movie overall. I still enjoy, and most of it was in the strength of the relationship between Henry and Alex. That was the majority of the movie, since you didn't have a lot of the auxiliary characters from the book in the movie. It was mostly based on the strength of Prince Henry and Alex. And I think I was more of a fan of the actor that played Prince Henry. Not to say the person that played Alex wasn't good, but like some of the looks that he gave Henry, like especially after the first time that they had sex, like the longing and like the look that he gave it was like, I was all about the looks. The looks are the things that got me watching this movie. I also thought the score was a little weak in this movie. Like the music didn't really add anything to the movie, and it was very unassuming in a sense. Like you really could have just had this movie with no score, and it really wouldn't have changed anything, because yeah, the music was kind of weak. But like I said, overall, I thought the movie was cute. I just wish it was a little bit longer, but I still had fun watching Red, White, and Royal Blue, and I definitely would recommend people check out the movie once it officially releases. And I definitely, if you're a reader, check out the book version of Red, White, and Royal Blues. But I would definitely, of course, I would recommend the book more than the movie, but I would recommend you check out both. I would say watch the movie before reading the book. I think you would get more out of the story and more out of these characters by doing it the opposite way of most, of the way people say you should do. Like you're supposed to read the book before watching the movie, but I say do the opposite. Watch the movie and then read the book, because then you'll get more information. You get to spend more time with these characters, and you get to be introduced to new characters like his sister June. But overall, I would recommend watching Red, White, and Royal Blue. I wish there were more scenes of Alex and Henry being naked. There was like one ass shot of Alex. Again, this movie did not feel rated R. It felt very PG-13. But with that said, Have you guys read the book, Red, White, and Royal Blue? Did you like the book? And then after you see the movie this past Friday, August 11th, come back to this video and let me know what you thought about the movie. How does it compare to the book if you've read the book? Let me know all of your thoughts in the comment section below. Also, if this is your first time checking out one of my videos, please check out the other videos on my channel. If you like what you see, please subscribe for more. Hit that bell notification button so you're alerted every single time I post a new video, and tell your friends, families, and neighbors about my channel to help me continue to grow. And as always, I will catch you guys next time.